Hello everyone. Welcome to the first episode, but it's not technically the fourth episode of Let's Get Quizzical, Raw 12:51 AM's best and only quiz show. I'm Thomas Hart. I'm formerly of the Warwick Quizzical exec, but I'm now just a nobody who likes tormenting fellow members of Quizzical with hard questions and humiliating them on national radio. This is the second run of the show. The first run was 2 years ago when I was a fresher. Didn't run it in summer term last year, but we're back again this year. So welcome. I should have a co-host. He's not here. Hopefully he will be here soon enough. But we'll just go straight into talking to our contestants. So in which order do I want to introduce you? Contestant number one is Robert. Hello, Robert.
Hello, Thomas.
How are you?
I'm not too bad. It's a bit of a miserable day, but I'm here ready to absolutely nail all these super hard questions you've got for me.
Good. So for those who don't know, you just introduce yourself. Yeah, University Challenge style, why not? Not like you're ever going to be on it.
No, I'm not. I'm Robert. I'm the competitions convener for Warwick Quizzical, which means I basically select the teams that we send to then lose to all the other unis.
Okay, good. And what degree do you do?
I am currently in my second year of a mathematics degree.
Second year of a maths degree, always fun. When do you finish exams?
5th of June is my last, so just under a month.
Lucky. I was considerably lucky. Last year I finished Saturday week 9 was my last exam last year. And sitting next to him is our other contestant, the Secretary of Warwick Quizzical, Oscar Siddle. How are you, Oscar?
Not too bad, Thomas.
Good. Remind the people, what do you do as well for your degree?
I do mathematics, and I'm a second year.
Yes. We are a very diverse bunch in Quizzical. In fairness, we actually do have our first non-mathematician as president, who is sitting in the corner doing some knitting. Hello, Jenna. Anyway, let's get, if I can pull my right things up. So now we don't have Matt. I guess we'll just go straight into round one. Hope that he makes his presence known in due course. So, round one, nice and simple. We want to ease you into the show. We want to get you comfortable. So, questions are only worth 1 point, so probably won't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. But just get your mental cogs whirring, as it were. And we like to keep it topical. So, does anyone know something important that happened on Saturday?
I mean, we should.
I mean, this isn't the question.
What's the kind of rough category?
No, what happened on Saturday? The big thing that happened on
the
Saturday.
coronation, you mean?
Yes, of course.
I meant the start of the Giro d'Italia, so your questions are going to... I'm joking, of course it's the coronation. Although, potentially, there may be Giro d'Italia questions later on. We shall see. It's nice and simple, really. We like to keep a theme, so it's monarchy themed this week.
I think we've really set the tone for how this show's going to go.
Basically, I'm going to give you the dates of a English/British monarch. You each get five questions, and you just need to give me the monarch from their dates. So, Robert, you can go first. Who reigned between 1066 and 1087?
Be William the Conqueror.
William I the Conqueror, indeed. Nice and easy one to start off with. Oscar, 1837 to 1901.
Victoria.
Correct. Back to Robert. 1936 to 1952.
That would be George VI.
Before Queen Elizabeth II, indeed. George VI. Oscar? 1603 to 1625.
That would be James I.
Indeed, subject to the gunpowder plot. Robert, 1199, 1216.
That would be signer of Magna Carta, King John.
Magna Carta, 1215, the clue there. Back to Oscar. 1483 to 1485.
Torn between two. Oh, no, wait, no, I'm not. Sorry, Richard III.
Battle of Bosworth Field was 1485, so indeed, Richard III was killed at it. Back to Robert, question 4. 1327 to 1377. Ramping the difficulty up a bit, I think.
I would have to guess that's Edward III.
Further point. Well done.
It was certainly one of the three Edwards, and I thought it was before Richard II. So.
Oh, and he was the longest of the three by a decent way. Oscar? 1689 to 1694.
So, this is one of succeeding James II, so it's one of William and Mary, so I guess it's just which one of those died first. I'm going to say Mary II.
Correct.
Well done.
Robert for the full house. 1154 to 1189.
Right, well, 1189 was when Richard I came to the throne, so it's going to be who was before him, which I believe was Henry II.
For a full house in round one. And Oscar, to finish off round one, who was on the throne between 1399 and 1413?
Okay, so I think this is probably succeeding, or just after Richard II. I think it's an Edward. And
Gonna have to hurry you.
yeah, sorry, I'll go Edward II.
Well, you were right in that it's who succeeded Richard II.
Edward III we established was before Richard II.
Yes.
After Richard II, it's the three Henrys, so it's Henry IV.
Robert is correct. So we finish round one. Robert has a slight lead, 5 points to 4. And we're going to our first song break. It is, as you all have no doubt noticed if you've been listening to Raw, it's Eurovision week. So to start off with, we are going for probably the all-time great classic Eurovision hit. This is ABBA with Waterloo. Okay, and we are back. Welcome to Let's Get Quizzical on Raw 12:51 AM, and joining us in the break was my co-host Matthew Bliss. How are you, sir?
The most professional co-host in the biz. The game, basically Howard Stern over here.
It's like, well, for the people who don't know you, introduce yourself.
My name is Matthew Bliss. I am the Vice President of Warwick Quiz Society, amongst other things. And yeah, I'll be performing the Alexander Armstrong / Richard Osman role today.
Good. And
I mean, in all fairness, if I'm doing the Richard Osman / Alexander Armstrong, you are also doing Richard Osman / Alexander Armstrong.
Yeah.
Slightly redundant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but oh well. So, round two. What did we call it last time? I think I gave it a stupid name that I cannot remember what it was. Anyway,
It's plausible.
It is just pointless, isn't it?
no, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I basically ripped off of something Tom Scott did a while ago this round. But anyway, basically, we have in front of us we've got 5 different categories. Depending on how quickly we get through them, we may play them all. We may play only 3. We'll see. Mm-hmm. And the way it's going to work is that we'll announce a category, and you will have to, Robert and Oscar, take it in turns to name an item you think is in that category. So say, for example, I mean, this is one of the ones we did on the first series, or it was, in fact, the very first one, was Winners of University Challenge. So, University of Warwick, Imperial College London, Edinburgh University, going back and forth and so on and so forth. The game, you keep doing this until one of you thinks that the other person has named something that isn't in the category, at which point you will challenge it. And at that point, the round ends, and we will check to see if the one in question is in the category. If it is in the category and the person is challenged incorrectly, the person who named the correct item will get 5 points. If the challenge was successful, however, you will get 5 points. Basically, that's how it works. We'll play between 3 or 5 rounds of this, depending on how much time we have. But in order to incentivize you to try and poke the boundaries a bit, If you manage to successfully get an incorrect answer past your opponent, you'll get a bonus point. So that's how the game will work. And Matthew, what is our first?
Our opening category is presidential losers. So this is anyone from a major party. So if you name an anti-Masonic candidate, then A, you're a nerd, and B, you will not get any credit.
William Wirt. He's the anti-Masonic guy. William Wirt was the anti-Masonic guy.
Yes, it was William Wirt, Thomas.
You can tell who picked this category.
That's my first answer gone, definitely.
So, yeah, any major party political loser from a presidential election in the US.
And major is relative to the election. Well, I would assume.
Yeah, well, except Whig candidates, I guess.
Yeah, basically, who were the main parties at the time?
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious in context, basically.
Cool.
So, Robert, as your head, you can kick off, I guess.
I should do what I always do when it comes to US politics, which is default to falling on Hamilton and start with Thomas Jefferson.
I'll go with Hillary Clinton.
Aaron Burr.
Donald Trump.
Who was recent, because I've run out of Hamilton ones now. Al Gore.
John McCain.
This is terrible radio, because I'm just sitting here thinking.
You can always do some thinking out loud if you want.
I hope he did lose one. Well, Barry Goldwater, I think, lost one at some point.
I think we didn't win one, did he?
No, that is true.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Yeah. Walter Mondale.
Yeah. John Kerry.
I'm going to run out very, very soon. Probably shouldn't help. Just come out with a random name. It makes it really obvious. Oh. In the hopes that you lost one, Jimmy Carter.
Oscar's nodding.
Yeah.
We're both professional radio.
So
appearance.
Ross Perot.
No idea who that is. Sounds plausible. I'm going to challenge you on that, mainly because it saves me having to think of anything else.
Okay. First of all, Robert, your Hamilton knowledge failed you. Aaron Burr wasn't a major presidential candidate.
What a
Basically,
shame.
technicalities of they used to elect the vice president to the president at the same time. He was the vice presidential candidate. He ended up basically getting the same number of votes as the actual presidential candidate. It's a mess.
I mean, you say it failed me. It got me a point.
Yeah, in fairness, true, but if Oscar challenged you, it wouldn't have. But Ross Perot.
Well, he was a presidential candidate, but he ran as an independent.
Yeah, but he was for the. It was 1992, and he was the front runner.
We specified major party. 1992, he was independent in 92, and then Reform Party in 96.
Yes, but he was not a Democrat or Republican at the time.
I didn't realise that was the requirement, but I guess if he wasn't in a party, then that's fair.
So 5 points to Robert there.
We love a loss on a technicality.
We love it on a technicality. What do you mean?
We do. And now from a highbrow topic to a rather lowbrow topic.
Yes, these are any coaches from the UK version of The Voice.
The beloved BBC, then ITV singing competition.
I will tell you now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
That's 14 more hosts of The Voice than episodes of The Voice that I have watched.
Oh, this could be fun. And Oscar gave the most recent answer, so Robert gets to kick off.
This could be over very quickly. I have a vague memory that Rita Ora may have once been a coach, so I will say Rita Ora.
I don't know enough to tell that.
Well, we got about 30 names and none of them are right.
For Will.i.am.
Really not a clue. Alicia Dixon.
She's not even a singer.
We established at the start that this was not going to be my round.
I think she is.
She is a singer. She did the Boy Knows Nothing, didn't she?
That is indeed a song I have heard at some point in my life.
Boy Knows Nothing, much how I'm feeling. Very appropriate.
Alright, I'll pass on that, even though I'm not. Alright, Tom Jones.
Oh, he was, wasn't he? Yeah.
The answers aren't written on the ceiling, Robert, by the way.
They aren't written anywhere I can see them, so it's not going to help where I go. Can I think of any plausible names? No.
Really?
If in doubt for a UK show, go for an Australian. Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge.
Thank you.
Okay. So, on the getting wrong answers through front, another point for Robert there. Alicia Dixon was never judge. I think she was a judge on Strictly, and I think Britain's Got Talent as well. But she was never on.
This is something that Richard Osman would have Googled, isn't it?
Possibly, but some of the other ones, Rita Ora was a judge. Will.i.am, Tom Jones, they were. Maybe Will.i.am's been on every series, Tom Jones all but one. There were some other ones you could have gone for. Danny O'Donoghue from The Script, he was a judge on it. So was Ricky Wilson from The Kaiser Chiefs.
Of course.
Boy George, Paloma Faith, Ollie Murs, someone called Anne Marie. I don't know who that is. I'm in touch with the kids.
That did it to you out with Niall Horan.
Kylie Minogue was a judge on Series 3, so another 5 points to Robert. Oh, what is...
I was looking at the list, and I thought that he just pulled it out his ass. Like.
I presume by your facial reactions that was a complete guess.
I mean, I'm assuming I saw the adverts for the series at the time and somewhere it registered, because I probably knew who Kylie Minogue was at the time rather than any of the others. But yes.
Yeah. Alicia Dixon is a serial judge. She was on Strictly. She was on Britain's Got Talent. She was on American's Got Talent. She was on Walk the Line. She was on Australia's Got Talent. So... And she hosted The Greatest Dancer.
That is a show I have not heard of, I will confess. But, yes, good. Category the third.
Category 3. You'll both really like this. This is UEFA Champions League winners. So basically, we just want any team that has won the UEFA Champions League.
Or the European Cup.
As it was formerly known.
That's it. So Robert gave the most recent answer, so Oscar's in first. Liverpool. Any team that has won the UEFA Champions League.
Liverpool.
Chelsea.
Manchester United.
Barcelona.
AC Milan.
Real Madrid.
Inter Milan.
Benfica.
Oscar in some thought here.
Porto.
Hope they've won it at some point. Juventus.
Bayern Munich.
Borussia Dortmund.
Ajax.
Oh, I didn't say it at the time. Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, they might want it. Monaco.
I'm going to hope that Monaco haven't won and challenge that.
I think they have.
Okay, so third round in a row, Robert gets a bonus point. Atletico Madrid have never won the Champions League.
Why I didn't say it at the time.
Runners up 3 times, though.
Yeah, the record line of a team. Got most of the big ones. Real Madrid won it 14 times. AC Milan 7, Bayern 6. Liverpool, the best team in the world, also 6. Few didn't get. Surprised no one went for the age-old chestnut. Nottingham Forest have won the European Cup twice in the 70s, but Also Celtic, and then we first British team to win the European Cup. But trying to remember what team you said now. Monaco, team from French team. Trying to think of anyone we placed for them at the moment, and I'm completely failing. So I'm just going to move on. Reached the final in 2004. And lost.
I should have just kept naming them.
Another 5 points to Robert, which gives him a substantial lead in this round. Do you think we've got time for a fourth?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I think we'll do one more.
Your last one is current monarchies.
So any country whose head of state is a monarch, not counting countries which have like subnational monarchies, like tribal monarchies or state monarchies, just any country where the head of state is a monarch. And Oscar gave the most recent answer. So, Robert, start us off on the final set.
I'll take the obvious one off the table, go United Kingdom.
Your challenge on that?
I'll go with Denmark.
Thailand.
Japan.
I'm going to challenge that. I don't think they're a monarchy.
What is the technicality?
I don't know what the definition of a monarchy is opposed to other forms of.
I would say they're hereditary. Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm baffled why you've challenged that.
because Oscar needs some points, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, Oscar does need points. Japan has a monarchy; they've got an emperor.
In my head, they were two different things at the
they're
time.
not different things. If it said kingdom, it would be different. But well, that ends that round relatively nicely. Oscar gets some points on the board, and at the end of round 2, Robert has opened up a rather substantial lead, I'm afraid. 23 points to 9. And so as we go into our
stupid moments,
next Eurovision music break with a request from Oscar, because apparently one of his friends likes it, which is the song from the Austrian entry this year by Taya and Selena, and it's called Who the Hell is Edgar? A deeply profound question, I'm sure you will all agree. Okay, welcome back to Let's Get Quizzical, 12:51 a.m. As we left you at the end of round 2, Robert has a lead of 23 points over Oscar's 9, which means that Robert has the dubious privilege of getting to choose his category of questions for round 3. So the way round 3 is going to work is we've got 2 themed sets of 10 questions, each question worth 3 points, and they've been slightly cryptically titled, varying degrees of crypticness, as you'll find out throughout the series. But yeah, they'll be answered individually, so Robert will get one set, Oscar will get the other set. And as Robert, you are in the lead, you can go first, and your choices, the 2 titles are Louis and Lewis. Those are your 2 titles, Louis and Lewis. What do you want of those 2?
Neither are desperately appealing to me. I'm going to take Lewis, I think.
Wunderbar. That's my set.
Exactly where this is going.
Where do you think it's going, Robert?
There's going to be some Inspector Morse elements in here, I'm sure.
Yes, it is entirely.
Oh, good.
So,
Well done, you've got that.
no, it's a nice enough set, I think. So, yes, this set, Lewis, is themed around the TV show Lewis. So, 10 questions, here we go. We'll start off with the basics. Lewis, as we have referenced earlier, is the sequel to Inspector Morse, and like its predecessor show, is set in which English city?
It's Oxford.
Correct. Which actor reprised his role from Inspector Morse to play Detective Inspector Robbie Lewis?
This is where it all goes downhill. I've not actually sat and watched through a whole episode.
It's a great show.
I'm sure it is. I just... Let's name someone. Who definitely won't it be? Let's name someone ridiculous. Bradley Cooper.
Funnily enough, no, it was Kevin Whatley. I think he was...
Whatley?
What? I've always pronounced it Whatley, but I don't actually think I've ever heard him say it out loud.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the
Whatley, Waitley.
the boy's own bloke.
Kevin Gate. Not Kevin Gately. He's the Warwick guy. Oh dear. Question 3, maybe a bit more up your speed. The first episode of Lewis, Reputation, concerns the murder of a mathematics student who had recently produced an incorrect proof of a famous unsolved mathematical problem. The problem in question asks if each even natural number greater than 2 is the sum of 2 primes. What is the name of that problem?
Goldbach conjecture.
Correct. 3 points.
I got that wrong.
It would be, indeed. Question 4. At the end of the episode Music to Die For, it is revealed that the killer had been an informant for the East German secret police. By what name was that organisation commonly known?
I might have the wrong thing here, but I'm going to go with Stasi.
That is indeed what the Stasi were. Question 5. Lawrence Fox, who played Detective Sergeant James Hathaway, has had a bizarre career change since the series ended. In 2021, he founded which right-wing political party? Later that year, he stood as its candidate for Mayor of London, where he came 6th, behind the YouTuber Nico Omilana.
I don't know. I don't care much for the right wing of politics. I will go with Reform.
No, that's Reform is the party that used to be the Brexit Party.
Very much what I thought. But
This is the Reclaim Party, which was in the news today because they gained their first MP, former Tory MP Andrew Bridgen, who was kicked out of the Tory party after comparing COVID vaccinations to the Holocaust. So, lovely
Sounds like
chap.
a lovely party, certainly.
Yeah, lovely chap. Chaps, all of them. Question 6, this one will probably be a bit more up your Strasser, Robert. Appropriately, given the title, the episode The Quality of Mercy surrounds a student production of which Shakespeare play?
Merchants of Venice.
Correct. The murder victim in the episode The Soul of Genius was a professor obsessed with the poem The Hunting of the Snark, which was written by what real-life Oxford professor?
It's Lewis Carroll. Charles Dodgson as his actual name was.
Correct. Professor of math. Thought he might get thrown by maybe going for Tolkien or C.S. Lewis, but nope, he was a mathematics professor. Lewis Carroll. Going through these decently well, I think. Question 8. Lewis and Hathaway's superior, Chief Superintendent Jean Innocent, was played by Rebecca Front. She's best known for playing the cabinet minister Nicola Murray in which other TV show?
The Thick of It.
Correct, one of my other all-time favourite TV shows.
It's a good show.
Question 9. The final episode of Series 8 revolves around Graham Laurie, a Nietzsche-loving serial killer who bludgeoned several policemen to death with a hammer. The episode takes its name from which of Nietzsche's books, dealing with the overthrow of traditional morality?
I can't remember the name of.
Just apropos of nothing, this is my favourite episode of Lewis.
Good to know I'm disappointing you in every way possible then. Beyond Good and Evil.
He's only gone and pulled it. And to finish off, every episode of Lewis featured a cameo from the author of the Inspector Morse books. What's his name?
Colin Dexter.
For 8 out of 10, and a score of 24 points in that round. Well done, Robert. And that means, Oscar, you get Louis, the set that was written by Matt.
Yes, this is somewhat more straightforward in that this is just about the name Louis and its variants. So, the best known version of the song Louie Louie was recorded in 1963 by which band, who share their name with members of the titular Secret Service organisation from 3 action comedy films beginning in 2015?
The Andrew Sisters.
Classic films. Kingsman was the answer to that.
I think the film.
The clue there was listen to the second half of the question rather than the loosely themed first half. Louis Riel was a 19th century rebel against Anglo-Protestant dominance in the early Canadian Confederation, and is consequently revered as a hero by French Canadians and which other multiracial group of people, the second largest Indigenous group in Canada after the First Nations?
I don't know who counts as First Nations, though. I guess the Inuit.
Nope, they're the third largest. This is the Métis.
Who are basically French people mixed with
Yeah,
nations.
French-speaking.
Just saying, I'm starting to feel very good about my choice of category now.
Which Dutch football manager is sometimes nicknamed the Iron Tulip? He managed Man United between 2014 and 2016.
Van Gaal?
Correct.
Louis van Gaal.
In 1946, Louis Slotin became the second victim of a nuclear criticality accident in history. This occurred while he was using what common tool to separate two hemispheres of a beryllium neutron reflector?
I think it was a screwdriver.
That is correct. Which Louis was killed by an IRA bomb on his personal boat while catching lobsters in 1979?
Mountbatten.
Correct.
Good get.
Bodybuilder Lou Ferrigno is best known for playing which superhero in a titular 1980s TV series? Since you're behind, I'll say there, the clue is bodybuilder.
That doesn't help me much.
Frankenstein.
He-Man.
Incredible Hulk. Which man said in 1944 that all white folks call me Louis, despite the fact that he called himself Louis? The city of St. Louis, a hotbed of this man's chosen genre, also suffers from this problem.
Armstrong.
Yes. Former calypso singer Louis Farrakhan was better known for his later position as leader of which black nationalist group, which at times has counted among its members Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X?
It's a group, but not... No, I guess this probably counts as a religion, but Nation of Islam.
It is Nation of Islam.
Another group of lovely people, Nation of Islam.
Family show.
They are not lovely at all.
Another Louis that pronounced it Lewis was one of the 4 playable characters in which 2008 co-op zombie game developed by Valve?
Yeah, video games aren't really. Red Dead Redemption.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
No
Left
good
4
one.
Dead.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think
You've heard of that, surely?
Nope.
Oh god.
I wouldn't have
zombie
got
game,
it.
Red Dead
At least I
Redemption.
know it wasn't Red Dead
Unless I'm
Redemption.
dead.
Co-op zombie. Oh my
Well,
god.
only after
Matt,
you've
you're
killed
old.
them.
I know. Yet another Lewis that spelt it Louis was Lewis Tully, Sigourney Weaver's dorky neighbour in Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Which comic actor played him in both films, also known for his roles in Little Shop of Horrors, Spaceballs, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I literally can't think of anyone apart from Mike Myers.
As not a bad guess, this was Rick Moranis.
That's his name.
Ooh, and at the end of that set, Oscar got 15 points, which brings the totals as we go into the final round after this song break to Robert has 47 and Oscar has 24. And our last song of the show is going to be the Sunstroke project featuring Ola Tiara with Runaway. Welcome back to Raw 12:51 AM and let's get quizzical. As we left you before the much memed Epic Sax Guy song, Robert has 47 points and Oscar has 24 points. As we go into our final round, which doesn't have a name actually, but anyway. At some point I decided I wanted to give the rounds names and then I probably gave up after naming one of them. So that's the professionalism you come to expect on Let's Get Quizzical. So, in front of me and Matt are a series of quick-fire general knowledge questions, each with a category and a difficulty. At any one point, one player will have control of the game, and we will tell that player the category and difficulty of the next question, and they can choose whether to play it or to pass it. If they play, they will answer the question. If they pass, it goes to their opponent. If the question is answered correctly, they will. If the question is answered correctly, the other player will lose the corresponding amount of points from the total they've picked up so far. If, however, you answer the question incorrectly, you will lose the corresponding amount of points. The player who will have control is the player to have most recently answered a question correctly, unless you have. No, that's completely wrong. I don't even know why I say that. Again, professionalism. Oscar will start off with control because he's quite far behind and he needs it.
Is that common policy?
In fairness, coming to show, I had no idea how I'd give control, but given that if we give Robert control and it goes on a bit of a streak, we could be over very, very quickly. So, you're going to start with control. Basically, if you get a question wrong, you lose control. If you get a question right, you keep control. That's how it works.
Basically, your streak has to be longer.
Basically. So, Oscar.
Hi, Thomas.
Pop music, 3 points, which denotes a medium question. 1 point for an easy question, 5 points for a hard question.
Kind of in the middle, isn't it? I guess I'll take it.
Keep Singing and Angels on My Side were the lead singles from the #1 album 50, released in 2016 by which singer-songwriter? His only previous #1 album was his 1987 debut, Whenever You Need Somebody.
No, I can't think of anything.
Want to take a guess?
Nope.
Do you know any songs called Whenever You Need Somebody?
No.
In all fairness, we established the other day you don't know who Peter Gabriel is. So.
That was Rick Astley. Whenever You Need Somebody is the album.
1987. Sorry, that was the clue. Yeah.
Whenever You Need Somebody was the album that Never Gonna Give You Up was on. So, Robert, history, 1 point.
I'll take it.
After Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, prompting the Gulf War, Margaret Thatcher is said to have remarked, "Remember, George, this is no time to go wobbly." Who, in this context, is George?
I'm going to assume that was the president of the US at the time, which was George Bush Sr.
Correct. 1 point off Oscar there. Classical music, 5.
I will pass that, please.
Yeah, I anticipated that happening. Oscar. Earlier this year, Beyoncé broke the record for most Grammy Awards that was previously held by which famous Anglo-Hungarian conductor?
Conductor.
Yeah.
There's a shameful question.
I knew this for about 12 hours at the time, and it's gone since.
It's a 5-pointer for a reason.
Sandor.
No. This is a Sir Georg Scholti, his name is. So, Robert, television, 1 point.
I'll take it.
Starring Chris Marshall, the TV show Beyond Paradise is a spin-off of which other crime drama?
Death in Paradise.
Correct. Religion, 2. Not 2, 3 even. I'm just making up new categories here. Like we said, professionalism.
3. I'll take it.
The name Jesus is the Greek equivalent of which Hebrew name, still in common use today? It is that of a prominent figure of the Old Testament, the namesake of its 6th book.
Joshua.
Correct. From Yeshua would be the exact Hebrew.
Yes,
that's the Hebrew name of Jesus.
Wasn't clear on the Hebrew.
Something which I only realised a couple of days ago, despite the fact that I knew that Yeshua was the Greek equivalent, was the Hebrew equivalent of Jesus. I didn't make the connection between Joshua because I'm an idiot. Sport, 5 points.
That's why the host.
Oscar. Remember I mentioned the Giro d'Italia earlier?
Uh-huh.
The first stage of this year's Giro d'Italia was won by which Belgian rider, the reigning world cycling champion and the winner of the 2022 Vuelta a España?
Alright, who's the main... I've been watching cyclocross a bit, and there's this guy. I can't remember his name.
Yes, this is the main character of cycling.
It's like
first build in the credits?
Mr. Cycling.
Like Van Mert.
No.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't watch cyclocross, I have no idea who that is. But no, this is Remco Evenepoel.
Okay, that's not the guy.
Were you thinking of Wout van Aert?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I don't think he's riding the Giro this year. I think he's focusing on the Tour.
Very good.
Yeah, he is excellent. One of the top riders in the world, but he's not the reigning world cycling champion and the winner of the 2022 Volta a España. Robert, you're still in control. Pop music 1.
Oh, yeah, and I'll take it.
Completing his series of mathematically titled albums, what is the name of Ed Sheeran's new album, released last Friday?
Subtract.
Correct.
I had a great moment at the train station trying to work out what this album was called by looking at the poster. I thought like it had been censored or something. 'Cause it was just a black bar.
Okay, now we're in an interesting situation. Robert still has 47 points. Oscar's only got 5.
Oh.
Next question's a 5-pointer. So Robert could potentially win here. Vocabulary 5.
An unusual topic and one that rather intrigues me. I think I'm going to take it. I'll take the risk.
Okay, for the win. Our Australian cousins have developed their own spin on the English language, complete with many unique colloquialisms. If an Australian was said to be spruiking something, what is he doing with it? And spruiking is spelt S-P-R-U-I-K-I-N-G.
Well, you're still in it, Oscar. What can you do to things?
Just run through every verb in the English language and you'll get there.
I am going to go with cooking.
He's not cooking, he's advertising it, promoting it.
It would have been a long time before I got to that.
Yeah, it's just a great word, spruik. So, Oscar, you're back in it. You have control. Literature, 3 points.
Alright, I've got to take it then.
Released in 2022, The Bullet That Missed is the 3rd entry in which book series?
The Thursday Murder Club.
Correct.
I read it over
Richard
Easter.
Osman.
It was very enjoyable.
I've only read the first one, got the second one in the book part, in my very, very large pile of unread books. Still Oscar. UK Geography 3.
Alright, take it.
What is the county town of Cumbria?
County town of Cumbria. I should have passed this.
That's why UK geography is famously
Could have been anything.
weak.
Could have been about Brighton. It's not even a town. It's not even in Cumbria. Carlisle.
Correct. Well done.
Is it a town or a city?
Well, it's a town. Given it's a county town, I presume it is
It has a cathedral.
a town.
Yeah.
Enough. History 1.
I'll take it.
Who became the first Holy Roman Emperor in 800 AD? He was also king of the Franks and the Lombards.
Charlemagne.
Correct. Film 5.
Robert.
Thanks.
Which scientist is played by David Bowie in Christopher Nolan's The Prestige?
Nikola Tesla.
For the win. Well, very well done there, Robert. That is correct answer. David Bowie apparently plays Nikola Tesla in The Prestige, a film which I have not seen.
A film which I have seen twice.
It's a very you film to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And
I can't dispute that.
that means at the end of the first episode of this new and revived series of Let's Get Quizzical, Robert has defeated Oscar 35-0. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. Thanks, guys.
And me and Matt should be joining you next week at different time, 5 p.m. on Tuesday, because I waited too late to sign up to get us a regular time slot. And I will leave you with some other random song I've grabbed from the Eurovision set list. So
Yet
see you
more
next week.
professionalism.
See ya.